Great day today. Obviously, the market's up, Dow 50K, Bitcoin's up, but the last couple of weeks and months have been tough for crypto investors and for strategy shareholders. You're speaking to them right now. What is your message to your investors?
My message is to hold on. Right, we've been through Bitcoin downturns in the past. In 2022, Bitcoin got up to 68K, went down to 16. That was a 75% drawdown. Now Bitcoin went up to 125K, got down to 60. That's a 50% drawdown. 7 years from now, when Bitcoin's at $1 million and goes to 750K, it'll be a 25% drawdown. Everyone will think it's the end of Bitcoin, and I'll say hold on then too.
What if it doesn't go to $1 million, Fong? What if it goes to 10,000 instead?
Well, first of all, I don't think Bitcoin will go down to $10,000. I think it's extremely unlikely. What's happening with Bitcoin right now is the government's fully behind it. We have a Bitcoin president. We have a Bitcoin head of the SEC, head of the Treasury. We have Bitcoin head of the CFTC. So the regulatory issues that I think 5 years ago people worried about Bitcoin are gone. I think Bitcoin is a technological transformation as digital capital. I don't think it's going to go down $10,000.
Right, but you're running a business where you kind of have to have a strategy for that. No pun intended. As I understand, I was looking through it a little bit last night. The $17 billion loss in the quarter, of course, was before crypto fell, Bitcoin fell to almost below 60. Can you comment on what the loss is for the current quarter?
Yeah, it's a GAAP loss, right? And you know, if you look on our website, we have information on the loss. But those are really just GAAP mark-to-market losses. It's really not a true cash loss for the company. If Bitcoin goes down to $8,000 for 5 years, maybe then we start to have issues around whether we need to sell Bitcoin. But the GAAP loss isn't really something we're concerned about.
And is that because you have $2 billion or so in cash on the balance sheet? Did I see that correctly?
Yeah, we have a fortress balance sheet, and I think there's sometimes a misconception that we have high leverage. I'll start with, we have about 10% leverage. I think it's 12% if you look at our website and our metrics today. Average S&P 500 AAA rated investment grade company has 20% leverage. We're half of that. In addition to your point, we have $2.25 billion of cash in our balance sheet. We put that on our balance sheet so we could have a digital fortress to back up our dividend payments. So exactly your point, not worried about the leverage, not worried about our dividend payments, not concerned about Bitcoin price right now. You have drawdown.
Bringing in Rajat Soni. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, I have a million questions for you. What did you think of his first response in terms of just hold on? Message for the shareholders.
That's it. Just hold on, right? If so, the way that I look at it, all you have to do is keep doing the consistent actions that you're supposed to do. So keep buying, keep stacking, keep learning, focus on what you can control, and time will take care of the rest. So over time, you're going to see that Bitcoin goes from being at 126K to being down to 60K. Then it'll go back up to, let's say, 200K. Maybe it'll come back down to 100K. Then it'll go back up to 350K. Come back down to 150K. And when it goes from, let's say, 375K to 150K, we're going to be asked the same questions. Why are we still holding this thing? It's going to zero. It's dead. It's this. It's that. And we're always going to keep being asked those questions. We're always going to be questioned on our conviction, and that's exactly what markets are. There are people out there who are confident it's going to zero. There are other people who are out there who are confident that it's going to billions, trillions of dollars per coin because the US dollar is essentially worthless. So I think the focus here is just continue to stack. The market is going to take care of everything else. You're lucky that people still think Bitcoin is going to zero because they're the ones selling to us. If nobody thought Bitcoin was going to zero, then there would be no supply. If everybody thought Bitcoin is going to trillions of dollars, it would be at trillions of dollars right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That kind of answered my second question. I do get frustrated when sort of more traditional finance-like presentations, they ascribe very little chance to sort of major price depreciation. Just my sort of red flags go up. But I want to get into stretch. And what kind of importance do you put on this in terms of strategies development, how much you've you value this in the digital credit marketplace. Is this an iPhone type event?
I don't know if it's an iPhone type event. Think it could be. I can't really comment on that. But the way that I see it, I think that Stretch is fulfilling this gap. It's filling this gap that has existed in markets for a really, really long time. People have always wanted a savings account that gives them a decent yield. Stretch is giving them 11%, 11.25%, which is better than the next best. So right now, let's say money market funds are one of the best ways to just have a short-term savings account. How much are money market funds paying? 3-4% at most. And money market funds are worth $7.8 trillion. I made a video yesterday just comparing let's say Stretch to SCHD. So SCHD is it's a Dow Jones 100 income fund. Basically, the top 100 companies that are giving a dividend, they're put in this fund, and people buy them for the dividend. So they want cash flow, and that fund gives a 3.82% return. It's worth
Wow.
100. It's worth $138 billion. Stretch is worth $2.33 billion, something like $3.4 billion, something like that, and it gives an 11% return. So what strategy is doing? So actually, you asked something there. You mentioned something there where traditional finance people are generally saying that Bitcoin can't have insane returns, and I don't agree.
No,
I don't
I'm saying when I listen to a presentation on something I don't know, did I just lose the camera? Let me. Nightmare.
Tell us something.
The camera overheated.
Oh, okay.
The camera.
If I'm listening to a presentation on ROI and I don't necessarily understand the technological implications of, I'm listening to either an equity presentation or about mining. Let's say I don't understand the fundamentals, and someone in their scenarios has scenario number one, the underlying economic activity or asset goes up by 10%. Scenario number two goes up by 30%. Scenario number three goes up by 50%. My first, how come you don't have one going down by 10, going down by 30, going down by 50? These are non-zero possibilities. And I find in a lot of Bitcoin prognostication is, of course, the underlying asset can't go down that much. And I think if we were at in July and we were interviewing someone from a Bitcoin treasury company, and you asked them, what is the likelihood Bitcoin could go to 60K and how would you respond? Right. And how would you this? They'd say, well, that's probably not going to happen. And here we are at 60, 70K. I'm not saying 10K is likely. I'm not ascribing a high probability to it.
They don't like volatility.
Interesting to me because Fang is on Wall Street as, CEO of an equity company or security. So it's like, oh, that's not going to happen. Well, it might happen. It's not an unfair question in the context of, I think, traditional finance. But that's not the rabbit hole I wanted to go to. I wanted to stick to strat.
I just want to say anything could happen, right? I mean, the price could go to 10K. Let's say Satoshi comes out and dumps all 1 million coins. Then the price will probably go to 1K. But what are the chances of that?
Right. Yeah. But I think when you're in the legacy system, I think you have to ascribe a little bit more chance than you would as if you were on Bitcoin, Twitter, X.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
Just to kind of keep the overton window.
But even then, the legacy system will question it going down, but they won't say that it's possible that it goes up 100% per year, right? So I think they go to the extremes both ways, right? Or they avoid the extremes both ways.
Right. And I would point to gold and how much gold and silver have gone up in a short period of time and how large those that market class is, and Bitcoin could go up a lot more than that in a shorter period of time because it's a much smaller asset. So totally. But Stretch, is it sort of a hybrid product though? Because you have the equity side, you own the share, and then there's so does that sort of make it a hybrid or no?
I wouldn't say that. I think SCHD is hybrid because SCHD you're getting some appreciation plus you're getting the dividend. With STRC you're not getting appreciation.
But do you have downside risk on the equity part of the product?
Yeah. It's possible. Let's say Bitcoin does go down to like 10K and it stays there for 5 years, like Fang said there. Then obviously the market's probably going to be really worried. Strategy probably won't be able to they won't be able to raise cash. That would be a problem. But I don't think that's going to happen. And the reason for that is that I think that there's not enough supply to keep the price that low for 5 years.
Right.
There are enough people who have cash on the sidelines. Like I said, there's $7.8 trillion in money market funds. That's just cash, right? And if that goes into Bitcoin, if the price goes low enough, there's going to be enough people who are willing to buy as much as they can. There are a lot of people, like if it goes down to 10K, there are a lot of people who are saying they don't want to buy Bitcoin today who will actually end up buying.
Everybody's going to end up buying Bitcoin.
Right. Like at that point, think about how many people can become whole coiners, right? And one thing that I think that a lot of people have a little bit of difficulty wrapping their heads around is the fact that Bitcoin runs out at every price. So it was at a fraction of a penny at one point, then it was at a penny, then it was at 10 cents, then it was at $1. But the problem is that there aren't enough people who are willing to sell Bitcoin for that price anymore. So the price never goes back down to that price anymore. There are so many people who want to buy, and there's so many people who don't have any exposure that the price can't go back down to that price. If it does, people are going to snap buy all of it.
I'll be a buyer.
Exactly. Same here. 100%.
So you've heard Bitcoin is the new gold rush by now. As world leaders on all sides have endorsed it as the future of money, and now you're looking to get started, we'll show you how. It's actually easier than you think. First, go to your nearest Byte Federal ATM and turn your cash to coin. Byte Federal has over 1,200 locations around the country with the highest daily limits. Go to our website, bytefederal.com, to find the nearest ATM to you. Log in to any wallet, then create an account, deposit your US cash, and instantly convert it to Bitcoin. That's it. We are the only US manufacturer and operator in the Bitcoin ATM industry, and our US-based live customer service is second to none. Go on, give it a whirl, and don't get left behind. Click the link below.